All right, so tonight we are going to learn how to get what we want. Okay? So in case there's anything that you wanted to achieve in life and you haven't been getting it, so tonight you're going to learn how to get it. Okay? This is the deepest secrets of life. This is the teachings of the Tzadok Parshat Mikeitz.
I knew it, by the way. I don't know how.
He really starts with a Zohar that, what does it mean? What does it mean to want something? Rotzeh, right? In Hebrew, the word rotzeh means I want something. So a person that has the koach of ratzon, so he gets whatever he wants, and his will is everyone else's command. And Tzadok teaches that this week's Parshat really teaches us how to be full of ratzon in order to get everybody to do our will. Okay, so where does you see this in the Parsha? So it says that Yosef was in jail, and then suddenly, out of nowhere, so Paro wants to take him out, and he gets out of the jail, and it says Vishlach Paro vayirutzuhu min habar. Paro sent for him, and literally that they dragged him like very, very quickly from the word ritza, from the word running. That they ran him out of the bar, out of the jail. But the Zohar says, on this pasuk, the Zohar says that Rotza Hashem eti vayav. It's a pasuk that we say davening, we say in the Halalukas that Rotza Hashem eti vayav. So the Zohar says, what does it mean, Rotza Hashem eti vayav? Literally, it sounds like Hashem wants those that fear Him. But the Zohar says that it doesn't say Hashem Rotza Hashem bi vayav. That Hashem desires those that fear Him, but rather Rotza Hashem eti vayav. So He does Rotzeh, he gives Rotzeh, he makes Rotzeh out of the Reyav, out of the people that fear him, meaning the person that fears Hashem, so he's going to have this koach of Ratzon, and that's what it says. That Vayishlach Paro v'yirtzu min habar. That, what does it mean v'yirtzu min habar? That until now, so Paro hated Yosef. Until now, Paro thought that he was a criminal. And suddenly, everything changed. Suddenly, so Paro wants him, Paro desires him, and suddenly he's Rotzeh. So what changed? Because Ratzeh Hashem eti vayav. Hashem gives Ratzon to those that fear Him, and at the right time. So Hashem, because you are worthy, so Hashem is going to give you this energy of Ratzon. Okay, this fill of Ratzon. So meaning that the idea of Ratzon is of Yirtzu min habar is that even the people that hate you are going to start liking you, and this is the way that you're going to just melt all of the barriers, melt all of the walls, melt all of the miniot, anything that's barricades, anything that's holding you back for anything you want. So Hashem has the ability to melt all of these barricades by what? By Ratzon. That this is the special key. This is the key that opens all the locks. This is the thing that's going to get you anywhere that you want in life. And this is the koach of Ratzon. So Tzadok continues on this note that, like, if the Zohar is saying that Vayitzu means that you have the koach of Ratzon, so what's it actually say? It says Vayitzu min habar. That they took him, the Ratzon, the Ritza is from the bar, it's from the jail. Or in other words, that how did he get this energy of Ritzoi? How did he get this ability, this talent?
From the jail or from the pit?
The same thing.
Okay.
The jail wasn't the pit. Dungeon.
No. Don't you mean the jail where he met the Saramashkim?
Correct. Yeah, the Torah calls that a bar as well. Now, we're not talking about the pit. The pit was last week, but the Torah also calls the jail the pit because it was a dungeon, because it was underground apparently. So Reb Tzadok continues that there's min habar. That where did he get this? Is from the bar, from being in jail. Meaning, if he wouldn't have been in jail, he wouldn't have had this koch. Okay, and this is a very, very powerful idea. That, in the words of the Zohar, that let naharad ala da'ati migach hashocha, that there is no light besides the light that comes from darkness. That if there's no darkness, then there can't be light. And the only way that he got this amazing energy, that people are going to just love him, people are going to just want to do whatever he wants from them. So he only got this from his being in jail. Okay, and this is like we say the same thing about Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. That he says we say about in this song Bar Yochai. It says b'ma'arash surim shamanta that you went into the cave. He was in the cave for 24 years. That Sham Kanisa that's where you got your greatness. It's only from being in the cave. It's only from the suffering that you got your greatness. So first of all, there's a general idea that we've spoken about many times that there's no such thing as people who are born beautiful. Okay? There's not just, if you think of anybody that you look up to, anything that you think is an amazing person, so there is no chance in the world that this person that you look to as an amazing person, it's impossible that they just had an easy life. It just doesn't exist. That it's a crazy thing. I don't understand why. I don't know why. It doesn't say anywhere why, but this is a fact of life that all the beautiful people in the world, all the amazing people in the world, they all had to go through something. Okay? It's just this rule. So if you wouldn't have been for the darkness, we wouldn't have had the light. That's just a fact of life. So whenever we're going through a darkness, so it's something to calm us down, something to comfort us a little bit, that hopefully we're going to get out of this. We're for sure going to get out of this. And when we get out of this, it's going to make us into a more beautiful people than we were before. Okay? Because there's no such thing as being a beautiful person if you didn't have to go through something. So it's only the Vayitzu min habar, the fact that he has this koach haritzah, the fact that he has this energy about him that people wow, they just like, yes, master, what can I do for you? So it's only that chen, that ritzah, that it all comes from the bar. But Tzadok, so he explains what it means more in detail, based on a Gemara. It's a famous Gemara. The Gemara says the Shleisha Matanas Vatsa Hashem Latais L'Klal Yisrael. Hashem wanted to give 3 presents to the Jewish people. V'kulam Lanasno Ella Al Yedei Yisurim. And all 3 he only gave through Yisurim, through pain. What are these 3 things? Torah, Eretz Yisrael, and Olam Haba. Okay? Torah, the land of Israel, and the world to come. So Tzadok explains that when it says Torah, so what is it referring to? It's referring to getting the Torah at Har Sinai. So what was the Yisurim that we had to go through to get the Torah at Har Sinai? First, we had to be slaves in Egypt. Okay? It's referring to the galus of Egypt. That through being slaves in Egypt, that's what made us worthy of receiving the Torah at Har Sinai. When it says Eretz Yisrael, so it's referring to the Torah Sheba'al Peh. It's referring to the oral Torah. The oral Torah, at the beginning of the oral Torah, which is a very big part of the oral Torah, so it started at Anshe Knesset Gdola, which is during the Second Temple, and that's precisely at the moment, like the Chanuka moment, is the beginning of the time when prophecy ended. Prophecy represents the written Torah. Prophecy represents the Torah Shebiksav, because prophecy represents that Hashem is telling you and it's getting written down. And then when prophecy ended, that's when Chanuka happened. And that's during Anshe Knesset Gdola. And so when Hashem stopped talking, that's when we started talking. So the greatest expression of Torah Sheba'al Peh, the oral Torah, that is by Anshe Knesset Gdola, and that is in Eretz Yisrael. So when it says Eretz Yisrael, so that's referring to, when it says Eretz Yisrael, it's referring to the Torah Sheba'al Peh. It's referring to our connection to the oral Torah. And what was the Yisurim that we had to go through in order to reach that? That was the Yisurim of the exile of Babylonia, the exile of Yavan. Okay? And then with the third one, it doesn't say. Then the third one, he says that Olam Haba, that's a reference to the Tikkun. That's reference to Mashiach, to the final redemption. And what is the galus that we have to go through to get to the final redemption? Obviously, it is galus, the galus of Edom, the last galus. Okay, so he explains that what was the test? What was the test of each one? That each one is a certain expression of Torah, and in order to get to that true expression of Torah, they had to overcome a certain yisurim, a certain suffering. That part of that suffering represents a messed up state of mind. Okay, so what was the messed up state of mind of Mitzrayim? That Mitzrayim, the Torah says many, many times, was known for its magic, sorcery. Okay, that the other sorcerers, the Chatumim, So they were saying like we're the magical kings of the world. This is the Hogwarts. So Magic Kingdom. So the nitzachon over Mitzrayim was to undo the messed up mentality which is expressed through magic. Okay, so that represents Torah Shebiksav. That represents Torah Shebiksav, as opposed to that Torah Shebal Peh, that what was messed up mentality that was expressed by Yavan, that was the mentality of philosophy. Okay, so this is two opposite mistakes that a person can make. That philosophy is all about that what do I think? That how can I use my brain to the fullest? How can I make the most of my thought process? And really, philosophy is this state of mind that idolizes the human brain, idolizes human thought, and says that really that if I want to come to truth, that the best way to come to truth is through my brain. And that is the very basic fundamental statement of philosophy as a state of mind, and that is what Yavan represents. And so the Torah Shebal Peh is the nitzachon over that, meaning that something that Reb Nachman talks about a lot. That he says that Amalek was a philosopher. Okay? What does that mean? He means that the world of academia is Amalek. The world of academia is that if I think hard enough, then I will come to truth, and that is the antithesis of Torah. That is the antithesis of that real truth comes from a higher place. That I'm human, I'm very limited, and there's only so far that I can get with my own human brain. And if I really want to come to truth, I cannot rely on my brain. I need to rely on something higher. I need to try to get to the beyond. I need to try to get to the Ein Sof, to the infinite. So that's what Torah Shebal Peh is all about. That Torah Shebal Peh is all about the fact that I understand that I'm not thinking with myself, rather I'm channeling something higher. That I'm able to channel a infinite wisdom through myself, and that is what the gadlus, that the amazingness of our sages, of the rabbis of Torah Shebal Peh, is the fact that they were able to channel this holy knowledge through themselves and realize that it's not me talking. I'm connecting to this higher thought process, and it's being channeled through me. So these are two opposite problems. Okay, there's a problem of Mitzrayim, and the problem of Mitzrayim is problem of Kishuf, problem of magic, problem of Tumah. Okay, this is like in India, there's a lot of Avodah Zarah. There's a lot of negative spirituality. People don't realize that there's not all spirituality is good. There's actually, just like there's white magic, there's black magic. You can be connected to the wrong side. You can actually, and like here, like in Israel, in America, in London, like this is not the big problem, right? Actually, no, that's not true. There are witches in London. So she's not a wicked witch, though, right? So,
out of curiosity, sorry, what even does the Torah consider like magic? Is it just like miracles, or?
No, the magic that the Torah talks about is that there's a way to channel the supernatural. I mean, I don't know if you're going to call that a miracle, but you're able to channel supernatural powers. It's possible to channel supernatural powers from the dark side. Okay.
So taking the coin behind your ear doesn't count.
Right. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about real sorcery, so to speak, and it exists, and like the Ramban writes this, that it's something that exists. Some people understand how to do this, and there's dark energy in the world. There's dark energy in the world, and that was Mitzrayim's problem. Okay, so there's one, like back in the day, like there wasn't a question: is there a world of spirituality? No, until Greece, there was no such thing as being atheist. There was this philosopher called I think Epicurus. Epicurus was he was the first atheist. Like the Hebrew word Epicurus comes from this Greek philosopher. That until Greece there was no such thing as being atheist. Like of course there's a world of spirituality. Of course there's higher powers. Like how could you? Where do you think the world came from? So it's a new idea that there is no world of spirituality. That what you see is what you get. But so you back in the good old days. So everybody understood that there's a higher power, and the question was just, should I follow Hashem or should I follow Avodah Zarah? Should I follow magic? Should I follow the? And that was the first test. That was the first galus. That was the first challenge, the first yisurim that we needed to get to, and through overcoming the yisurim of Mitzrayim, through understanding this problem of Avodah Zarah, of magic, and that's when we get to Tersha B'Ksav. On a deeper level, very quickly, so the source of magic is really the same source as Avodah Zarah. That a person it's like somebody once explained it like this, that in Avodah Zarah, so if you want rain, so you do a rain dance, okay? So what if you do the rain dance and the rain doesn't come?
Rain dance harder.
So that means you do it again. Okay, if you do the rain dance, the rain doesn't come. That means you did something wrong, because the rain dance works, right? So that in the world of Avodah Zarah, so the person actually controls the gods, right? That we are actually in control. Human beings are actually in control. So the desire, and that's exactly like that's when you're doing magic, you are manipulating the world of nature, right? The world of Hashem, the world of holy spirituality, is a certain amount of submission, a certain amount of that surrender. That Hashem, you're the boss. I don't want to be the boss. That I want you to be the boss. Okay? So the word of Avodah Zarah is it's all about me, and the word of Hashem is that it's all about you. And that's Tersha B'Ksav. That's the first level. The first level of Tersha B'Ksav is that Hashem, I don't want the power. That I want you to have the power. I know that you have the power. I know that everything comes from you. And Hashem is Elokei Elohim. Hashem is the God of the God, meaning that all the power that you make me think that I could really control reality, but I know it's all from you. Okay, so that's the first Yisurim. The first Yisurim of coming out of Egypt to get the Tersha B'Ksav. Okay, then comes the Tersha B'Al Peh. Tersha B'Al Peh. So we said this is the expression of understanding. This is in Tersha B'Al Peh is the first time that Jewish wisdom became a big thing. Okay, and the antithesis of Jewish wisdom is academia. Okay, and that's what Chachmas Yavan represents. This is like already like this is the overcoming the Greeks and overcoming Hellenism. So this is where philosophy comes in. That, like we said before, that in the word of philosophy, so it's all about the human mind, and the reason why the philosophers idealize and idolize the human mind is because that's really what makes humans so special. So to say that the mind is the greatest way to come to knowledge, the greatest way to come to truth, is really another way of saying that humans are where it's at. That the human brain is the highest thing in creation, and there is nothing greater. So the Chachma of Tersha B'Al Peh is to understand that there is something higher than the human brain, and that is that the real truth is actually infinite. That's why one of the greatest things about Tersha B'Al Peh, that Tersha B'Al Peh revealed, is a beautiful line in Chazal that says, Elu ve'elu divrei Elokim chayim. That both these and these are both the words of a living God. Okay? What do you mean these and these? It means that whenever we have an argument between the sages, between Beis Hillel and Beis Shammai, so the way that we assume, the way that we look at the truth is that there is no absolute truth. There's a subjective truth. There is that if I am a rabbi and the way I see things is like this, then I'm obligated to go according to the way I see things. But if my esteemed friend thinks the opposite, so then I respect that, and I say that I say like this, but my friend says like that, and like not only that, but sometimes in a time of need. So if somebody's going to ask me a question, I know that they need a leniency, so I will absolutely send them to my friend who's going to be lenient, because I don't know that I'm the absolute truth. This is what I see. This is like, but you need a leniency right now. So I'll tell you to go to them. And this is the way that tzaddikim always acted with respect to their peers. That, like, I was talking to somebody recently that Ramesh Feinstein had a big machlekes with Rav Henkin about civil marriages. And in all of his shuvas, he would always say, according to me, it's like this. And even according to my friend Rav Henkin, it's like this. He didn't say Rav Henkin's a guy. Rav Henkin say he's stupid. He thinks like that. He understood that this is the way I see things. That's the way he thinks, and that's perfectly okay. I was talking recently. There's certain psak that there's a certain rabbi that says that if according to you, you're not supposed to say bracha, and according to somebody else, you're supposed to say bracha. So if you hear somebody saying a bracha that's not according to you, you shouldn't say answer amen, because it's like a blessing in vain. I said that's so judgmental. That's so like my way or highway. Like Lamaza, like he's doing like his rabbi, you're doing like your rabbi. Like of course you're answer amen. He's not saying blessing in vain. He's doing exactly what Hashem wants him to do. Hashem wants him to listen to his rabbi. So if he's doing what Hashem wants him to do, how could you say it's blessing in vain? So the part of Tosh B'Peh is Elo ve'elo divrei M'chayim, or in other words, that there is more to truth than what a human brain can really understand. And so this is why that the world of Tosh B'Peh is really the world of the infinite wisdom and infinite understanding. And this is why when it says Eretz Yisrael, it says Eretz Yisrael. So this is what it's like. Our biggest problem in Eretz Yisrael is our differences of opinion. All these political disagreements. And like this is mamish what the tikkun of Eretz Yisrael is. The tikkun of Tosh B'Peh is being able to understand, being able to embrace differences, being able to embrace disagreements, that we can really agree to disagree. We don't have to hate each other. We don't have to say that you are the enemy, that you are the Amalek, and you are that whatever. And so that's the. So these are the first two Yisurim, the first two things that we need to overcome in order to reach the Torah and Eretz Yisrael, which is Torah Shabbat Peh, Torah Shabbat Shav. So this is first of all the false spirituality, the magic, which is Egypt, which is the Kishiv, and the second one is Torah Shabbat Peh, is philosophy, and to understand that there is more to life than the human mind. Okay, so. The third one he doesn't say. He says that the third galus is what's going is the Yisurim. Is the last galus, that the galus Adams, that is the Yisurim that's going to bring us towards Olam Haba, which is Mashiach, which is the Tikkun.
Right, you said the second galus was Greek,
right?
Not Babylon.
He's putting Babylon and Yavin and Paris together. Oh. And he says Mitzrayim is the first one, and then Babylonia and Yavin is the second one. And the third case is the third thing is symbolized by Edom, which is the last one, and that one he doesn't say. So I was thinking like what like I'm existing in this one. This is Reb Tzadok. So he doesn't say what is the Yisurim of the third galus, and I'm thinking that what is actually the greatest enemy of in this last galus. Obviously, so I really think that the greatest test, the greatest enemy in this last exile is not that going after false gods, it's not going after my mind, it's apathy. It's not caring. Okay? And this is really what it used to be. It used to be that it was that the problem was that the problem was philosophy. Like the people, sometimes you have to talk somebody is like a devout Christian, they thought that they were Christian. You have to talk them out of Christianity, that's like probably the easiest. So we're on the same page. We both believe in God. We both believe in meaning. We both believe in spirituality. And just like, so you made a mistake that you think that he's a good guy. He's really a bad guy. And you really think he's God. He's really just that's easy. Then you have a guy. That his issue is philosophy. They're like listen. Like I thought about it, and I came to the conclusion that Judaism doesn't make sense. So it's not so hard. You sit with him and say, listen, you're wrong. I'll prove it to you. Judaism does make sense. That's great. And then you have a third galus it's not about that I believe in a different spirituality. It's not that I use my philosophy to think. It's just like, okay, yeah, you're right. I just don't care. I just don't care. And this is the last galus. This is the last darkness. This is the last thing that we need to overcome. That people just don't care. And so what is the way to get out of this? So, and this is the thing. This is the ritzay that Yosef is getting. The vayitzumen abor, to have this chen. So this is obviously, this is connected to Chanuka, this is connected to Yedas Kislev, and I want to share with you something that the Babich Rebbe said about Torah. That, because you see in Rebbe Tzadok that he's going different levels in Torah. That there's Torah Shebeksav, Torah Sheba'al Peh, and that there's something after Torah Sheba'al Peh. Okay, what's after Torah Sheba'al Peh? So, like, I don't know how he didn't say this, because it's totally what he would have said, is that what's after Torah Sheba'al Peh is Pnimiyas HaTorah. Okay, is the secrets of Torah, is the inner meaning of Torah. So I think if he probably said at some point in his life, something that the Lubavitch Rebbe said, that the Torah is compared to in different places. It's compared to three different things. It's compared to water. It says Hay kol tzamei l'chol hamayim. The pasuk says that if anybody was thirsty, so come to water. That's a reference to Torah. And the Torah is referred to as yayin. So it's referred to as that wine, and it says tovim divrei dodim b'yein shotera. That refers to as wine, and it's also referred to as shemen. It's also referred to as oil. What? The Torah is Israel. Torah is referred to as shemen. Is referred to as the oil, and that's what Chanuka is all. Chanuka is the shemen, is the chachmas HaTorah. The chachmas HaTorah is also referred to as oil. So what are these three things? So the first thing is the water of Torah. That's simply just the basic giving us life. Okay, that a person who's dead, a person who's collapsing. So he just needs water. He needs with a person who's almost dead. So the only thing that can save him is water, and that's the Torah Shebeksav. Okay. Then Torah Sheba'al Peh is where it gets tasty. Yayin is tasty. Okay, the tasty part of Torah, is understanding the Torah Sheba'al Peh, understanding all the different wisdom of Torah, to understand the differences of opinion, to understand why it's like that, to understand why it makes so much sense, how it's so beautiful. That's where the yayin is like you become an entrepreneur. You become a connoisseur of Torah. You understand the taste, and like it's in the Torah Sheba'al Peh that you can just be blown away by how complex Torah is. How it's just like something like I've never heard before. It's like deeper than the deepest thing I've ever heard. That's the yayin. That's the yayin that you can even make you drunk. You know, it's something that you hear these great ideas you've never heard before. Like in Torah, you can have like my mind is exploding. Like that's the yayin of Torah. Okay? And then there's a third level. The third level that the Rebbe said that there's an element of Torah that's called the shemen of Torah. And what the Gemara says about oil is that when you put oil into something, so the oil permeates the entire thing. Okay, you put oil into something, so it becomes completely, it's full of oil. You know, like water, you can just put it up to dry, and it'll. That wine, you just you put it in the wash, it goes out. Oil, it's like it's stuck there. It's gonna be part of the thing forever, and like when something becomes saturated in the oil, it becomes mamish, like it's part of it. So what does this represent? What's the oil of Torah represents? That a person becomes saturated with the Torah. That the person could learn so much. A person could be so full of Torah. He could tell you every single thing that his Rebbe said, and it doesn't connect to him. It doesn't penetrate. It's not part of what he is. Not part of what he believes, and that's the problem with learning without Pnimiyus Torah. That without the secrets of Torah, without Chassidus, That's the element of Torah that's connecting to your essence. So there's this danger that it's always going to remain external. It's always going to remain something which is like it's what I say, it's what I know, but it's not like I really care. And this is where Chanuka comes in. This is where Pnimis Torah comes in. That there's this place that do I really care? That do I really care? That it's only because I learned Pnimis Torah that it becomes part of who I am, and it's just suddenly you can't learn Hasidus, you can't learn Zohar without it just simply saturating your soul. And this is what we were talking about on Shabbos, I think we spoke about this last week also, that the greatest message of Hasidus is of how to change, how to grow, is by lightening up your soul, by waking up your soul. And that the purpose of Hasidus is that to lighten up your soul, to just make you just be awake. And that's why the Zohar, the word Zohar literally means to glow, to shine. And that's the shemen, the shemen inside of you. When you have the shemen of Torah, when you have the pnimius of Torah, so that's what makes you shine. And when you have that thing that's making you shine, so then when a person who shines, when they ask you something, so of course you want to say yes. Of course, it's the most natural thing. That is what ratzon is. That is what to have this ritzah is. So the when we're talking about this is called olam haba. This is called it says this is the third thing that only comes out of Yisrael is olam haba. You know, there's a question everybody asks, that how come it doesn't talk about olam haba in the Torah? Okay, it doesn't talk in the Torah. It only talks about if you do the mitzvahs you'll get rain. It never says what's going to happen when you're going to die. Okay, it's all Torah Sheba'al Peh. It's all Torah Sheba'al Peh. But there's a crazy thing that there were heretics. That the first heretics were called Tzadok and Baisis. That's Tzadukim, Baitusim. So it says that the first thing they did is that they denied the Torah Sheba'al Peh. And then in order to deny the Torah Sheba'al Peh, so then they denied that there's no olam haba, because olam haba is only. So in Torah Sheba'al Peh, it never says a word about Torah Sheba'al Peh. So there's everybody asks how come it doesn't talk about the world to come? How come it doesn't talk about the Torah? The Maral says the most simple answer. I think this is the emes answer. The Maral says that the Torah it talks to the point. It talks to the point. It doesn't talk about the things the things that comes out of it just talks to the point. The Torah says if you do the mitzvahs, you're going to be alive. Okay, it says v'chai b'hem. It says that if you do the mitzvahs, then you'll have life. You have chiyus. So, if you have chiyus, then when you die, so of course you keep on you keep on living because you have chiyus. You have what it really takes to live. If you don't have Torah, then you're dead. Then you're a zombie. You're walking around. You're walking around. People think that you're alive, but really you're dead. That's what Chazal mean when we say Rishayim afilu b'chayim kriyim mesim. That a wicked person, a person that doesn't have Torah, so then even if he's alive, he's dead. He's dead. So if I'm dead, so how come I have a pulse? Because your soul is a parasite on your body. So your body has some chiyas, your animal soul has some chiyas, and so your soul can be a dead soul that's a parasite on your body, but really you're dead. Really you're dead. And the proof is that the moment that your body stops working, so that there's nothing left. A person who's alive, a person who has chiyas, so then they don't need a body. They don't need a body. Their body, if the body's here, so gewaldig. But when the body stops working, they don't stop existing. They have chiyas. They have what it takes to exist. So where do you get the chiyas? The chiyas is only if your soul's alive. The chiyas is only if the Torah that you're learning, if it penetrates your soul. It's only if it made a difference, if it woke up your soul, if you're there. And that's what it means to care. That's what it means to live life that my soul is in this. Then this is not just something that I do, this is something that I am, this is something that I really stand for. And so that's why it's through this shemen, it's through this last state that's the reference to Olam Haba. That's really when it says that the last thing that needs Yisrael is through Olam Haba is Olam Haba. So this is what it means. It means that to be Olam Haba, to have an existence in Olam Haba is another way of saying that you're really alive in this world. So really everything that everything the Chanuka is all about is to actually be present. Is actually to care. This is actually to be connected to the things that we do, and this is such a it's such a deeper level than like overcoming philosophy. That I noticed that there's people that they have a lot to say. They're very smart, but like there's no chen to what they say. There's no there's what the Tzadok calls ratzon. That you have the ritzoi. So Rabbi Nachman calls this chen, calls this grace, and you can have a lot to say. Like be the smartest professor, and be prove me everything you want to prove, and it just doesn't penetrate. Be another person saying just very very simple things, and it penetrates. And this is something we spoke about also in the previous class, that if it's coming from your soul, there's a Maimer Chazal that says Dvarim hayotzim min halev nechtasim lalev. That if you have things that come from the heart, they pierce the heart. Okay, that I can tell you things that are just cerebral ideas, the things that I thought of, and I can tell them to you, and you're not going to care. It's not going to make a difference in your life because it's not coming from a real place in myself. But if it's something that I really care about, if it's something that I'm really passionate about, so I can tell you a reason that it could be it's not the greatest reason, but you won't be able to explain it. But after I tell you, you'll just want to be better. What's his name? That Reb Leila Eger. So his father was Reb Shlomo Eger. His grandfather was Reb Kiva Eger. So they were very very against the fact that he became a chassid, and so he was the Talmud of the Kotzker Rebbe. When he first went to the Kotzker Rebbe, so he was there for 2 months. They came back, and his father asked him, was making fun of him, so what did you learn? So he said, Abba, I learned that there's a God in heaven. And he says, family, you're going crazy. A 5-year-old knows that there's a God in heaven. You didn't need to waste 2 months to tell you that. So he said, no. 5-year-old says that there's a God in heaven. I know that there's a God in heaven. That there's a place that I can say something. There's a place that I can know something, and there's a place that I can really know something. That pick of the place that it's coming from my heart. That this is knowledge that is really really part of my very essence, and that's where the Torah is becoming oily. That's where this is sufganiyat. This is when we're eating these sufganiyot. This is where the Torah is really saturating ourselves. That we want it to really. And if it doesn't, the first one doesn't work, then just another one, and the third one, eight sufganiyot, it'll finally make it in. And this is the secret to Chen. This is the secret to having that vayirtzu nabar, that just all of my enemies are just going to want to be nice to me. It's all about that. Am I a person that my kedusha permeates my soul? Is it coming? Do the things that I talk about, is it something that's really coming from my truest essence, or is it just something that I'm talking about, something that I'm able to explain? And this is the greatest attribute that a person can have. This is the greatest thing that a person it's going to open up all the doors. If you want to get what you want, so be a person that's passionate about those things. If a person knows that this is we're talking about. This is really what Chassidus is all about. This is really what the light of Chanuka is all about. That it says that the Chanuka is the holiday It's the holiday of Mashiach. This is Arachti Le'en Mashiachai. This is where we're lighting a candle for the future, and this is the first Beis Hamikdash in a certain sense was about Torah Sheb'Ksav, and the second Beis Hamikdash is about Torah Sheb'al Peh, and the third Beis Hamikdash is about the Pnimiyus HaTorah. And the Pnimiyus HaTorah, this is when we're celebrating Chanuka, when we're celebrating the Torah of Chanuka. The Torah of Chanuka is the Torah of Pnimiyus HaTorah, and this is the Torah of Mashiach. This is the Torah of the Geula, and the Torah of the Geula. It's all about being real. And this is like it's this crazy thing that in this generation, that the only thing that talks to people is authenticity. So Pnimiyus HaTorah is the Torah of authenticity, that nobody cares about how, like there's in Neve, there used to be a sign, I don't know if it's still there, I don't think it's still there, that it said that nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. Yeah? Right?
I don't think it's there.
But it's a good one, right?
Yeah. We should put that.
And
Take it down.
so I think when it says that I don't know what the person who said it, I'm not sure what they meant. It could be they meant like that I care about you as a person, but it's also true about caring about what you're saying. Like if I tell you something and like you're not exactly sure why I'm so sure about what I'm saying, but I'm telling you that this really makes a difference to me. And like that this is the most important thing, and you see that I really, really care, so that it's going to make a bigger impression on you than if I explain to you why this is the absolute truth. And this is the Torah of Mashiach. So bless us all that we should be able to really find this Torah that's going to pierce our hearts to the point that we really, really care. Point that and this is the Torah of Mashiach that we're looking for, that we're thirsty for, that we know that we care about caring. We care about caring. The problem is that we don't care. The problem is not that we don't want to care. We know that we want a Torah that's going to wake us up. That's going to really just make us excited, to make us on fire. And we're looking for it. We're looking for it because we know that this is the only thing that makes a difference. The Torah of authenticity, the Torah of caring, the Torah of being connected. And so maybe this year, like when we're looking at the candles, when we're lighting the candles, that's something's going to click. Something's going to just make sense. That suddenly it's going to, we'll find the Tzadok that has this koyach haratzon, and it's going to be able to pierce our souls. And B'ezrat Hashem, this should be an amazing gilui. A lot of light, a lot of oil, a lot of shining. B'ezrat Hashem.